is the +44 podcast. I'm Zeze Millz.
Yeah, what's that about?
What was that all
And
about?
I'm Sideman. Music,
Culture.
UK. This is +44 from Wondery. Welcome to the +44 podcast year in review 2022. It's been a big year. Lots happened, but Zeze, how's the year been for you?
Mine's been all right. How's yours been? Did all your dreams come true?
They did, you know. I've had a big year in so many different ways. Personally, professionally, like it's been a great year for me.
That's so nice to hear.
You don't sound like it's nice to hear. You sound
No,
like you
I'm
don't care.
really enthusiastic that you've had such a good year. I'm really happy for
You're
you.
hating on me right now.
No, I'm not. I think it's brilliant that you've had a really good year.
Have you had a good year?
Yeah, my year's been okay. It's been all right.
It doesn't sound the same when you're saying it.
No.
I'm using my adjectives and your adjectives aren't aligned.
I'm never like, oh my God. I'm just like grateful for getting through the year, being able to do stuff that I
Get
like.
through.
No, it's true because, you know, some people didn't make it through the year. I got through the year with everything intact, mentally, physically. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens in 2023.
I'm looking forward to 2023. Lots of projects and plans on the horizon. So I'm excited. 2022, I just feel like was proper like introspective for me. Most of the work that I did was on the inside.
I feel like 2022, you decided that you didn't want to get dragged anymore and you shut your mouth on bare things.
That's not even, no, you know what it
until
is?
the latter end of the year when you're just like, I'm going to come back and start running my gums again.
I don't
But I
think...
feel like you was traumatized from January to maybe like early August.
No, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Go on.
My opinions changed on a lot of things.
Why do you think your opinions have changed?
Because the internet makes you too black and white.
Right,
And I was
okay.
starting to become black and white. And real life has shades of grey.
Right.
And if you stare in the mirror long enough, if you're a real person, you know there's shades of grey in real
Ooh,
life.
click fingers.
Yeah. So it's just like, when I started to deep the shades of grey, I was like, yeah, I can't be doing this. I'll tell you one of the biggest things that changed me
Go on.
last year. I met Will Smith.
Ooh.
I've made a couple videos
Right,
on
right.
Will Smith and Jada and their whole situation, yeah.
You shook.
No, it wasn't shookness because he would never know. But I'm
That's
saying,
what you think.
I made these videos and those videos were somewhat disrespectful. When I saw him and he was standing in front of me, I was like, this man raised me. I grew up.
So you actually have more respect for my father.
Yeah, I'm saying these people are real people. Whatever disconnect was for me, when I stood in front of him, I did not have any disrespect in my chest. I had nothing but respect.
But isn't that just the time and place? Like, I'm pretty sure if you sat down for an interview with him, you would tell him some of the things that you said on when you've done a video, because it would come up in conversation, and I don't see you as a fake person. So you might not say the jokes as like,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
wouldn't be as flagrant.
yeah, but you would still maybe ask him the question. You'd probably say like, bro, yeah, like what happened? Like, and probably being David, you probably would be a little bit on the edge of maybe getting a slap. I don't know if that's right to use that joke, slap, considering what his history is. But
Yeah.
you get what I mean? I think it's a time and a place. And also, so does that mean just because someone's a real person, does that mean we can't ever criticize them?
No, it doesn't. But the internet does something different. It's not just criticism. It's salacious. I feel like that encounter just made me...
So is that not down to you? You are.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking
so
to-
then
I'm
maybe you
talking
should
about me.
commentate in a less salacious way.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
Ooh.
being what, like, for instance, you tried to rob a young man of his career.
Oh,
but-
what? Because I
right.
said he wasn't needed on the song.
Yeah,
and
but- yeah,
I
because-
still stand 10 toes on that. Does that mean I don't want him to have a budding career? No. Do you know how many people told me that? Oh, you don't even ask questions properly. It's like, okay, that's fine. But anyway, so...
But yeah, let's talk about what's been on our radar for this year.
Oh, also we have to do public disclaimer right here. Now we just have to make it clear that, you know, there's no public votes, there's no panel judges.
Yeah.
These are strictly our opinions,
Yeah.
but we are
And our
probably-
opinions are facts.
basically.
Yeah. Biggest power moves of 2022. We have a lot of things that happened. Lethal, B, and his Ghana property development.
That was cool.
So impressive. Dave winning Songwriter of the Year at the Ivor Novello Awards. That sounds too fancy for me to pronounce.
It's very like critically acclaimed, an award.
Skepta entering the art world, I think
That was really cool.
I think that's absolutely certain.
And I watched the like short film that they did alongside it, kind of interview, and it was really insightful actually. He's actually just an artist, if that makes sense.
It went to market for 81 bags.
I know.
81,000.
And you know, he said that he painted it during lockdown. So he said he probably doesn't know if he'll paint again. But the reason why he was able to do it was because like the stillness that lockdown brought him.
I hear that, and that's very emotional. I want you to think about this from a business perspective. How much do you think that cost to make?
Oh yeah, not a lot.
Perhaps under £20.
No, of course not.
Are you crazy? He went Hobbycrafts, right? He got their standard canvas, right? He bought some paint. He started.
This is what I mean about
this
men
isn't hate. This is
in the world that are not well traveled, well educated. Anyone can look at that art and just know the quality, the oils that he had to use.
That brother could have used the olive oil that was blessed by a priest. I'm telling you right now.
Got another famous artist, another famous black artist to come and tag it as well. And this guy's like really a thing. So that probably, added a little bit to it. Was a thought out thing. Don't question Skepta and his greatness.
Oh no, I'm saying the lack of production cost is what makes it more great.
Do you think you could do something like that?
Yeah.
And people would buy it?
No, I don't. No, I don't. But when we're looking at ways that artists have leveraged their success, for instance, Fredo with Kick Game, this is very unique. We have not seen this in our space. What Skepta is doing here, to me, is breaking down a door. This will
100%,
this will make young black boys and girls think about doing this, and make artists in general think about the diversification of their art. And I think it's a brilliant move. And to go to market for £81,000, these artists, when they go to festivals, right, they have to do rehearsals, leave their yard, actually create a project and music worth being sang at a festival, do shows around the country to make sure the people know it, promote, and then go to the festival and do it. And most of them ain't getting 81 bags for the show.
Yeah. I'm not disputing that.
This
100%.
man did this. Let me audio caption for those that didn't think. David waved his hands about frantically.
You haven't seen it. It's actually...
I've seen the picture.
Yeah, and he didn't wave his hands around frantically.
You know my dad's an artist, innit? So I know about art. I'm telling you, and my dad's a 30 artist.
I know, but I'm telling you, he did more than wave it around.
Yeah, he definitely did more than wave it around. But anyway, wow. Okay, anyway. But if we're going to give biggest power moves of 2022, I have to give it to Krept and Sasha.
Yes, I probably would say the same as
what they've done with Nala's baby, of course, what we're referring to, the skin care product that they've done with their daughter, Nala. I shudder at what that company will be eventually.
Yep.
It's horrifying. It's horrific,
ladies,
where that's going to go.
And gentlemen, especially the men out there within the industry that always think that the woman is going to be the downfall of your success.
There you go.
And she's going to take you off board and all these things. And even though they're not together, again, I like that they are a positive representation of, although things might not work out, unfortunately, you still can co-parent civilly together. You still can create something for your child, so your child has a legacy together. I think that's a good representation how relationships are kind of seen nowadays. There's that idea, I saw something the other day on Insta and it was like, oh yeah, women will slow you down, and obviously Krept is his own entity without Sasha, but I think we would be doing a disservice to Sasha to not highlight that. I think since he got with Sasha, it took him into a different space. Like I always say, I think when men couple up with women, especially pretty women or women that are kind of in the influencer space, everyone loves love. So we enjoyed Sasha and Krept while they were together. We enjoyed them.
We're enjoying them now.
We're enjoying them now still. And I think it has assisted Krept. And also, obviously, Krept has assisted Sasha. I think we often always make it seem like because the guy was probably the more famous one in the beginning, only Sasha has benefited from this, if that makes sense. And I think they've both nicely benefited from the relationship together.
I think a lot of times when people be talking about, women dragging men down, they don't realize what they're saying is women, plural. When you're one of these guys that's just chasing around.
Unless you're Diddy.
I mean, he can't be bragged down. He's up.
That's what I'm saying. But he probably, the reason why he hasn't settled down is because he probably has that mentality of women are here to distract you.
Because I'm a grown man and I know what humans are like. I don't doubt the sailing between them two isn't as smooth behind the scenes as it is in front. Yeah. But they have done a very good job of making sure that they keep that behind the scenes.
100%.
Like, for instance, I don't doubt that when Sasha was talking about, you remember that whole drama earlier in the year?
Yeah.
What was it about again? Nursery fees. I don't doubt that Krept might have texted her and they've been like, oh man, this is why you know what I mean? Thinking, he never come out publicly and diss her anyway. In fact, he used that as an opportunity to big her up and he empowered her to become her own entity.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying? But,
and I think also, even if they do, that's normal. The idea that they're not going to argue or not have disagreement, it's like we said, it's like what you decide to bring for everyone to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree. Biggest power move of 2022 goes to Krept and Sasha for Nala's baby. And
have you ever used it?
I know that adults can use it, but I haven't. Definitely not opposed to. But also, I'm one of these people that once I find something that works for my skin, I'm like, let me. But I've heard like amazing reviews and good things about it, and I've heard that it works on adults as well.
I was at like one of her cousin's birthday parties, and she was there, and she had Nala with her, and I was like, "Go walk around with this £1 million baby, just casual," because we was casual in some random, very basic standard ends of Brum. Obviously, she's there with her family and that, but still, I was just like, don't walk around with this baby all local and that. I need 7 bodyguards present at all times. But yeah, it's crazy that this, that Nala's getting such a start. Song of the year, we're not doing this by clout and by virality. For instance, then Central C Doja Cat, we would say that would be song of the year. I ain't beefing the song, I'm just saying it needs a bit more than that. For me, what's your view?
And also, I feel like song of the year, like, when people make these decisions on song of the year, like, are we going from January to December?
Yeah.
For me, it's too broad. I feel like we should do song of the quarter. Like, because at different times of the year, different songs mean different things to you. So in the summer, I might have had a song that meant loads to me because it means something to me. It's attached to a memory, attached to a person, attached to something. So how can I now just wipe out all the other songs?
Well, Z, not all of us change partners between the summer and the winter.
No.
Like you, so we don't need a different song
for
your winter man and your summer man.
I would say, for me, the song of the year...
Burna Boy, Last.
Yeah, I would have to say that. It's not because I, love that song or I think it's, lyrically amazing. I just think what it done for the culture, for Afrobeats, what it done for us as a community, as a culture, like I said, the impact it had on the world, the nostalgia that it gives you when you listen to it. Like, if you're like an 80s baby like me, it takes you back to a time in your life as well where R&B was a thing. Like, I enjoy, and then if I'm being honest, I enjoy the little bit commotion around it with him and Steph around it. The information that we found out about him having to get Tony Braxton, he's only got a small proportion. All these type of things that I just think there was so much conversation
the song has, content
around. It was a moment. And anytime it comes on, it brings memories, good memories.
Here's the thing. I'm inclined to agree with you only theoretically. And this is what makes me realize that music and locale mean something. I fully don't know all the words to that song.
Neither do I.
And I'm saying that because I've literally never heard it come on.
What do you mean?
Other than scrolling on social media. Remember, I don't go parties and clubs.
Do you not listen to the radio?
No, I don't listen to the radio.
So then that's...
I only listen to what songs that I put on.
So then that's a testament to the song, kind of.
I like what you said.
What?
About... There's a whole... That song almost has like a history.
Right,
like a mythology.
Right.
From the Tony Braxton conversation, then the Steph and Burna drama and all of that. It has like a whole ecosystem.
And I think the way it just kind of took off as well.
Yeah. Does he say now everybody go have breakfast?
I think so, yeah, he does. He does, yeah.
Only one other song can compete for me.
Go on.
Dave Starlight.
I would agree with that. I feel like Dave Starlight was a...
chokehold.
Yeah.
I find it intriguing. If I listened to that song before it came out, I would have been like, it's a nice song. Never would I expect it to go number one. So what do you think makes
it the thing then? The hype around it, the TikToks?
It's a good song, but it sneaks up on you. That's the thing about that song. The sample to the content. It's vibesy, but it's really, I don't want to go as far as to say deep, but enough man hate on the truth I'm living in. So they got to make lies instead. You know what I mean? Everybody feels like that sometimes. Like, you see the litness of my truth, so you got to hate with lies instead.
But I think Dave is just really good at... I always say that Dave is the perfect balance for me of like consciousness and grittiness.
Yeah.
He straddles the line really well for me. Yeah. Like, he'll say something that's a little bit greasy and you be a bit like, oh, but then he'll back it up with something where you can click your fingers and be like, oh, how intelligent is he?
I'm over this though, because I don't want to hear you say what Dave straddles again.
The only song that could beat any of like Starlight, Last is Scissor, I Hate You. Because I just think that song is the best song ever.
I haven't heard it yet.
How can you not? Again, that was like a TikTok thing where it somehow did the rounds on TikTok. It was like an unreleased song and then she's basically forced to release it because it done so well on TikTok. But I just think that she's just so dope to me anyway.
And it's probably not in this list. It's not. But I just want to give an honorary shout out to Flow Cardboard Box as well.
Oh my God.
Vibes.
That is such a song.
Such a vibe.
Such a vibe. Such a good
honorary
vibe.
shout out to that. Album of the year. Oh, now this one is a tricky one.
I am going, for me, album of the year would have to definitely be Little Simz. Sometimes I might be an introvert. And I've just recently listened to her new album, No Thank You, which again is just absolute, like Little Simz, I've always said this, she's just so good and so articulate and so needed. And I think she's so special at everything that she does. You very rarely get to see women, dark-skinned Black women at that, like actually be true to themselves and not have to like compromise, not have to overly sexualize themselves, or and she's not had to go with the trend to be respected, if that makes sense. And her bars, we don't include her enough. Like when we're talking about our top lyricists, I think Little Simz should 110% be in there.
It shouldn't even be difficult to include her. These men, their bars are basic.
Very basic.
So not only should she be included,
like when you're talking about Dave, and like you should be talking about,
the list gets tougher after Dave.
And
if we're just talking about new school people,
right,
we are. Let me tell you something about the UK. We grew up with Gets.
Yeah.
We grew up with Wretch Free 2.
Yeah.
We grew up with Kano.
Yeah.
Not a syllable is out of place. Flow perfect. The flow and the beat, they walk down the aisle together. What men are coming out with these days?
No.
If the beat is Usain Bolt, they're Mo Farah.
But the thing is,
Little Simz and her artistry, it shouldn't even be questioned. And that's what tells me a lot of times that what people rate about bars is content, not lyricism.
Yeah,
people
100%.
like Gets and Kano, they were technically brilliant. But if the content matter wasn't what it was, we wouldn't hold them in the high regard we hold them now. Because Little Simz's content isn't bang, bang, shoot, shoot, stab, stab, sell drugs. It's not mentioned in these conversations, but it really should be.
It should be. And also, she does talk about her music is not like, oh, let's hold hands in the park. And do you know what I mean? It's not kumbaya. I was listening to it and she's got these little like throwaway lines where it's like, don't make me have to call my brothers and all those type of things. Like, you know, where it's like, you know, just add a little sprinkle in there. Just let people know and it don't. It's okay. Like Little Simz is album of the year. And do you know what as well? Kojey Radical, Reason to Smile is a really good album.
Those two from the list I'm feeling. Age Close to Home surprised me. I wouldn't say album of the year. It's way too soon to be put in Stormzy, This Is What I Mean in there, because I just feel like we haven't had enough time to live with it.
Right. What do you think about that? Like people giving their reviews on albums, like it drops at 12 and by 9 o'clock they have a full review.
Oh yeah, but just update your review a couple months later.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I had to update my review on Certified Lover Boy.
Oh, what is it?
Because when I heard Certified Lover Boy at first,
licking the actual residue from his crack.
We ain't got to do all that, but I rated it. But the way I have not gone back is magical.
I think that's a really good idea. I feel like people should, if you're going to do an album review within 24 hours, listen to it and then come back in a month's time, because I see people and they're just so quick and I'm like, how did you digest it? But I guess if it's your job, then it's like me, when a news breaks, if I feel compelled to speak on it, I speak on it. But I feel like an album is different, especially I feel like when the artist has spent bare long. Like an artist has spent like a year, 2 years sometimes, and you've managed to digest it in less than 24 hours. To me, it's a bit alarm bell ringing, in my opinion.
That's one of the reasons why I don't think I could be an artist.
Because you just be like, do you know what? Sometimes, when I used to do interviews, right? The interview would come out, the interview would be 45 minutes long, right? And then I'd go and look at the YouTube comments and 17 minutes. And I'm like, we released this 17 minutes ago. The interview is 45 minutes long. How have you managed to come and tell me everything that's wrong with my interview? You haven't even watched it yet.
Yeah, like for instance, Stormzy excavated his soul, right? He literally, he grabbed a shovel and digged into his own spirit.
I know.
And dashed it on the track, bro. And I've seen someone like, nah, man, bring Wicked Skeng Man back. And it's just like, bro, digest my thing.
Exactly.
Like, respect my thing. Especially when you see the videos. He's posted videos of what it was like in the studio.
I know.
The studio don't even look like a studio. It looked like he went to a ranch. Or something. It looked like he went
getaway.
Then man went to the field and that I was holding hands in a circle, trying to summon spirits to make this album. And then man just dropped. Yeah, I wasn't even feeling like the last one. And he's just like, bro, let me.
Can we have 24 hours?
Yeah, we definitely have to
I think
update. You know what the funny is? I remember, obviously, Certified Lover Boy was coming out at the same time as Kanye's last one.
Oh, right,
Donda.
Yeah.
I remember listening to the first track of Donda because I'm listening to Compare now, and all I heard was Donda. I said, Kanye, don't take the mic, bro. I really thought.
But now Donda has definitely outlived. Outlived
CLB by miles.
100%.
And that's how you know you have to do a review later. So right now we're saying Little Sims.
And I feel like I can say that because Little Sims has lived a while.
Yes.
And so has Koji Radical. He's lived a while.
I've been on record saying it and I'll say it again. Some artists should not do albums.
Yeah, like French Montana.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, French Montana doesn't need to do albums.
All you need to do is come out on stage that I ain't worried about none. That's it. That's all you do.
His albums never do well either.
I cannot for the life of me fathom why they release albums. Bro, just release singles.
No, I feel like certain artists do need to because there's...
No, certain, yes.
Because
they have depth.
Yeah.
If you go to dig with the shovel
who do you
and
think,
you feel tough ground
who
straight
in
away,
the UK does not need to release albums?
Oh, I would have said it about H until I heard the last project. And I realized there was more to say. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to put it out first and then I'll tell you afterwards whether you should ever do it again.
Everyone gets a chance. I feel like everyone should get a chance.
Yeah. Film or TV series? What TV series or film really impacted the culture or got people talking this year?
Oh my God, for me, Tinder Swindler was probably one of the...
Really?
And then there was another one that was along the lines of that called Bad Vegan. Oh my God, if you thought Tinder Swindler was bad, watch Bad Vegan. This woman, basically, this guy worked brain on her for how many years, kept her there by saying that if they just completed these challenges, they were basically going to become immortal and, you know, they were going to take over the next realm together. Mm-hmm. And she was going to come reincarnated, I think, something to do with her dog. For you to believe those type of things, that imagine a woman coming to you and telling you, you've got to be in some sort of space.
Depends on how fire she is.
No, it's mad. This man managed to swindle her out of her company, everything. Absolute madness. I would recommend people to watch that.
What about Dharma?
That was really disturbing to watch.
That had people in a chokehold for a bit.
That did. I watched all of that while I was getting my hair done in this hairstyle, actually, that now needs to come out.
Did you watch Wednesday?
I haven't watched all of it, no.
Apparently, it's surpassed Dharma as the most watched English-speaking show on Netflix.
Oh.
I don't like when the biggest show is attached to real-life trauma. So I'd probably go with Wednesday.
What do you think about Top Boy this
season? It was a moment, but I wouldn't give it like film series of the year. Obviously, it had us.
What about Black Panther?
Nah.
Not Black Panther 2?
Nah.
Love Island?
Love Island was solid this year.
Oh yeah, Ekin. Oh yeah, no, this was epic series.
It was, but
Dami, still. India, come on, that was a moment. It was
epic. It's not in this conversation.
You don't think so?
Nah. Our TV series of the year.
Are we excited for Love Island when it comes back with Maya Jama? I'm really interested to see the dynamic.
I want to see them move to her.
That's what I'm saying. I'm interested to see the dynamic.
Yeah, because the previous, that Laura Whitmore, she definitely had reduced visibility. Because I remember when Caroline Flack was in the show, you would see her a lot more.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping that they go back to that format and model where see Maya a bit more. Like, I don't want it to be like the host is just never there and only feels like they're just fulfilling the duty of informing the contestants. Listen, man, props to Caroline when it came to that show because she did a great job of not being biased. When she took a side one time, I can't remember. But it would be interesting to see Maya in that role.
I think it's going to have a different energy.
Yeah.
I think because Maya is so energetic and quite bubbly. Mm-hmm. I always said before, actually, when Caroline passed away, and then Laura came in, and there was this discussion about who was going to do it. I said, I think Maya Jama would be good for it, but I didn't know if she would overpower the contestants. Mm-hmm. She's not forgettable. She's gorgeous to look at. So I'm interested to see whether we just forget about the contestants and just care about Maya.
Definitely not. I expect no major personality from her.
Do you not? Oh no.
She's going to say the lines that she's given bubbly. No. If that's a term. She's going to say them bubbly.
You think so?
That's about it. There's nothing more she can do because then it would be biased. That's the one thing you never want to be as a host. Everybody has their cult fan base that will rip you to shreds.
That's true. That's true.
After 6 months, they'll forget about them. Their fan base will abandon them and leave them in the dust. But in that time, you don't want to be the person that seems like you weren't rocking with somebody and then have all of that hate and vitriol coming towards
Yeah, I'm interested. I think Maya Jam is going to bring a nice youthful element to it, a bit more fun, not so rigid. I think, do you know what's going to be good? After Sun. I think that's where we're going to get to see
her. Yes.
Is the After Sun.
Yes.
I think a lot of people didn't actually like Caroline on After Sun. They felt like she didn't push enough, which is kind of different to what you're saying, is that she's supposed to be in the middle. But I think people wanted her to be a bit more like, ask the questions that we were all kind of asking online.
I never watched After Sun, you know. Reminds me of Big Brother back in the day when you used to watch them sleep. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, yeah. And then you just used to hope that they would have sex. Or maybe that was me.
So that has been the plus 4 for now. So TV show of the year, mine was Wednesday. Yours is...
I haven't actually said.
You did say not Tinder Swindler. You said the other one.
Tinder Swindler / Bad Vegan.
Now, as we're closing out the show, we want to pay a personal tribute to someone very special who tragically passed away earlier this year, which is none other than Jamal Edwards.
Yes.
Somebody we've both worked with.
Yeah, and...
You more so than me.
Yeah, Jamal was the one that wanted me to come aboard for Unapologetic. Like, I still remember being told that he had passed away. And for me, it was just like, what? Like, it was so... I was just like, what? Like, it was just a very surreal feeling, but I think it's nice to see that his legacy is continuing to live on. I've been to quite a few award shows this year, and it's been nice to see all the different tributes and celebration of life. It just reminds you that we should also celebrate people while they're here. Like, give people their flowers while they're here. Tell people how you feel. Say thank you if they've helped you along the way. You know, even if it's just a little text to be like, yo bro, yo sis, thanks for this or whatever. I'm grateful because I get to work closely with his mum Brenda and his sister Tanisha.
They're lovely.
They are. They're so lovely.
I feel like this year has shown death don't have no criteria for who it picks.
Oh no, that's
It's like waking up and hearing that Takeoff had passed.
Oh yeah, that was mad.
And I feel like over the last 4 or 5 years, it's been that, wait, what?
Yeah.
You wake up one morning and it's like, what's going on?
Like, yeah.
The most rare deaths you hear these days is of old age.
Do you know?
It's so mad. So we gotta enjoy life while we live it. If this is the last episode for us before we are back in the new year, happy holidays to everybody. Make sure you tell the people that you love them. Don't make no petty little squabbles making not speak to people.
Sometimes people deserve not to be spoken to. And that's life. Because you can't just be forgiven also. And you can't just be letting people walk all over you. So yeah, I mean, within reason, forgive people. But also, remember who you are. Remember who you is. Remember who you were.
I slightly agree. This has been the year of me letting some friendships die. Yeah. Not forcing it. Not trying to resurrect it. Not giving more than I'm taking and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, cherish those who cherish you. Yeah. And yeah, man. +44 podcast and them thing there.
Before we go, remember to check out all the new releases this week across the +44 playlist on Amazon Music.
As well as the main +44 playlist, we also have the +44 R&B playlist, the +44 rap playlist, and the +44 Afro playlist.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram at +44UK, where you can see snippets of this podcast, exclusive content, and stay up to date with all the new music releases.
You have been listening to the +44 podcast from Wondery with me, Sideman.
And me, Zeze Millz.
Listen to the +44 podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music.
And see you guys in 2023.
Boom. The +44 podcast is produced by So Incredible with Wondery, audio engineered by Nathan Cooper, filmed and edited by Marcus Accent, photography by Naomi Koji Payton. The podcast is filmed at Fiction Studios. The executive producer for So Incredible was Harry Anthony. The executive producers for Wondery and Amazon Music were Kamal Mermont-Liu, Delisa James, Richard Knight, Jessica Radburn, and Marshall Louis. Thank you for listening this week, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Listen to the +44 podcast wherever you get your podcasts,
or listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music.